Okay, welcome to my boxing journey. If you've been following my journey, you know I'm inside learning from former Russian Olympic head coach Vlad. So all the knowledge he took and trained Olympic boxers in Russia is being taught here in Valrico, Florida. And if you know me, I love to learn, but only from the absolute best. Today is month 9, week 1. I'm going on 10 months. Although it's only 1 day a week, I'm going on 10 months here, and that is for an absolute reason. Today was a little bit more of a special day. Today was Coach's 45th birthday. I'm super honored and blessed to be able to share and spend time with him on his special day. More life, and I'm so happy for him continuously living his legacy and teaching individuals like myself to not only be the best boxer I can be, but the best individual I can be. And we started today with celebrating him through cake, and I actually had a strawberry kiwi peach cake, and it was absolutely phenomenal. What a great way to start practice. And then immediately after that, we did some cardio, some jump roping, and then we worked on what is one of my most lacking factors within my boxing journey: my footwork. My footwork and my stamina is my top two. However, we worked on some footwork technique today, and even going a little further, because coach has been telling me, but he really saw it today and had a quick one-on-one brief section with me saying, hey, your footwork is too wide, you need to narrow it. So we were working on switching stance and pivoting, and I was swinging too much, and I was creating a wobbly effect within my boxing because of how wide my stance is. And then coach comes over and shows me firsthand what to do, and it really helped instilled it a little bit better. Right now my autopilot is still triggering a wider stance, which just comes with doing it more and more in reps and reps and reps. But having him there to really showcase where I'm lacking has been a phenomenal feeling. Learning from an actual Olympic head coach, it doesn't get any higher. It's just mind-blowing that I'm here learning. I'm super honored and blessed. And then after we worked on body movements, we got on the bag, going from going light but still swinging to giving your all to going back light and not stopping for a continuous 3 minutes, which felt like forever. The 10 seconds while you're tired felt like 2 seconds, and the 10 seconds you had to give your all felt like 50 seconds. And that's genuinely the mind playing games with you. And that's another aspect that coach is very fantastic with. He teaches beyond just the physical. He understands to be a very good boxer is to be a complete overall athlete that goes beyond just the physical, and is the mental, the voice inside of your head. How much control do you have over what it tells you and what reaction you have based upon what it's telling you? He is understanding how the human brain works and the human body works, and is teaching you to manipulate that for your benefit, which is absolutely phenomenal if you really listen and really focus on what he is teaching. He's teaching like no other. I'm super honored and blessed to be taught by the best. So I'm going to see you next week to see what we do and how much progress I made. Okay, although you may not be able to tell from my completely drenched shirt, I mean, I could take this off, squeeze it, and it would leave a puddle. Today was an extremely light day. We did 2 exercises. We jump roped, and then we hit the bag. That is it. We had a session before class going over the competition over the weekend, watching every single individual's fight. So that did take a portion of the class away. So we only had time for 2 exercises. However, those exercises are enough for a workout. Did I work on the technicals like I would want to? Did I work on the footwork like I wanted to? There are a lot of things I would love to have worked on sparred today. However, just being able to come here and get a good workout in is all I can ask for. Definitely giving my all within the jump rope, trying to push myself to go faster, to go harder, to do harder combos. Same thing on the bag, really focusing on punching the bag, but also understanding there's active rest periods where you need to slow down, which was the idea. We 10 seconds of all in and 10 seconds of chill, but to understand it as an active chill. You still want to move your head, you still want to throw some jabs, you still want to understand reach. And even when I'm going fast, I was really trying to emphasize understanding that, okay, I'm giving my all, but I still need to be technical. I still need to be able to move my head and be mobile, be able to come in and come out, go to the left, go to the right, and not just throw a whole bunch of punches wildly, being very strategic as possible, honestly, because how you practice on the bag is how you're going to practice in the ring. And what I notated is my feet work still need tons more work. They're a little too spread, and I'm a little off balance on some things, especially when I try to do my check hook. My feet are so wide that the check hook makes it even wider. So there's a nuance there that I need to work on. So definitely continuously learning each time I come in here. It's about not the knowledge that you are being instilled, but how you apply that knowledge. So I'm definitely loving myself for giving my all today. I'm going to see you next week to see what we did and how my progress is coming along within this month. Okay, I just wrapped up week 3 here with Coach Vlad, and today was a phenomenal day because if you've been following this journey, you know one of my major factors that is lacking is my footwork, and today was the most heavily centered footwork class we've had, I would say, ever. If we have had another one like this, it's been quite some time. The first thing we did once I got there, I was a little late, so I hopped in immediately. We were working on our 1, 2, 3, our hook, our jab, and our cross, forward and backwards with proper footwork. And then immediately after that, we went to the tire, going, shuffling around it, jumping in and out of it. And then after doing several exercises with the tire, we went along and did partner work, doing our defense mechanisms out of a jab or out of the 1, 2. So today was heavily centered on footwork and defense, which are my 2 major factors that I need to work on. So it was great to have that experience to work on my feet and feel where they should be, because I felt a lot of times they weren't where they should be because of not doing the proper footwork over time. And then the same thing with the partner work. It was great to have those punches just continuously come at me, and I had to find different ways to block or to maneuver out the way, just making that more and more comfortable, knowing what a fist looks like coming at me, and then also being comfortable enough to not freak out and to make the next proper decision. So I honestly absolutely loved today's class. I am going to continue to come here and learn from the best to keep being shaped and molded into the best boxer I could be. I'll see you next week to see what we did and how I close out this month. Okay, what an absolute way to wrap up this month here with Coach Vlad. Today was heavily intensive on the 2 things that I am hindered in the most within my boxing journey: my footwork and defense. Today, we stood on the ladder for a majority of class, working on footwork, working on muscle mind coordination, going in and out with our feet, leading with our shoulders, understanding what it feels like to shift, to pivot, to understand how to be off balance and then get on balance, to close my stance a little bit, because wide stance all the time isn't always the best. So that was fantastic. And then later on, we even did some handstand walks, which was phenomenal because I've been needing to work on my handstands, and I have been in my gymnastics, if you've been seeing my gymnastics progress. So I was able to showcase a little bit of my progress here in boxing. So once the sports start to collide, it actually becomes a beautiful sight to see when you're sprinkling a little bit of yourself everywhere. And then we went on, like I said, to the defensive portion, going with a partner to understand what it feels like to see a punch come at you. What do? Do you close your eyes? Do you flinch? Do you go back? Do you go left? Do you go right? Just a punch coming at you as is practice in itself. But once you can start to implement what coach is teaching you with blocking, but not too much, just enough to block it, because if you swing all the way down, he can come around with the hook and hit you on the chin, and then understanding to duck. And what have really emphasized today for me was, while I was practicing my defense, I was really working on the footwork that we prepped earlier in today's session. And I want to tell you, my legs were absolutely on fire. And mind you, I'm in here with champions Jack, Sammy, and Gio, so they're flying through this, and I'm trying my best to keep up with them, and my legs are on absolute fire. So that's why I love training with the best coach and then his best proteges, because you always will be pushed to be better if you're someone who wants to be better and don't envy and actually want to learn. So that's how I love being taught here. And we wrapped up class with, like always, abs and working on your neck strength. And regardless if you're picking up a new hobby, regardless if your job is draining you, or if you feel like you don't have enough time, find a passion that you're passionate about. And even if you only have one day a week, mind you, I come here once a week, and you see what once a week progress is starting to look like. There's no excuse to not attempt any dream or any aspiration you have deep down inside. Follow your heart, follow your spirit, follow whatever is drawing you to wake up and really embrace this experience of life, just like I am here with former Olympic Russian head coach Vlad. Thank you so much for spending another month here watching my progress, and I cannot wait to start another month and to just continuously learn and grow and prosper into an individual human. Thank you for spending your time here with me, and enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck with your journey.